Dear Heavenly Father, we're so grateful for today, Lord. We just ask you to bless each and every member of NSBU, Lord, and just give us good wisdom and good guidance as we go about the affairs. And Lord, we just ask you today particularly to bless our service people overseas, keep them from harm's way, protect them, and just bring them back soon, and this will all come to an end. And we just ask you to bless and touch everything that we do. In your mighty name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Larry. Excellent. Thank you.
Okay, safety message by Michelle Lamongo. Is that correct? Lamaggio? Lamago, okay.
Yes. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning.
My name is Michelle Amago. I'm the compliance manager with New Smyrna Beach Utilities. And today's safety message will address heat and hydration safety tips. As we transition into Florida's peak heat conditions, it becomes increasingly important to remain hydrated and limit the effects of the heat as much as possible. Heat exposure is a predictable seasonal risk, and today I'll be sharing key hydration and heat safety practices that help support safety, heat, and health and well-being in challenging environments. So as temperatures rise, it's essential that we take deliberate steps to protect ourselves, whether we are at work or enjoying the outdoors. So first, drink water regularly in small, steady amounts, 15 to 20 minutes apart. That will help you stay ahead of hydration rather than trying to catch up once symptoms appear. When work is strenuous or conditions are especially hot, include electrolytes to replace the minerals lost through heavy sweating. Here at NSBU, the warehouse stocks liquid IV electrolyte powder, which is available to support personnel hydration needs as conditions require. Hydration can also be supported through water-rich foods, which include watermelon, oranges, berries, and cucumbers, which provide an additional source of fluids throughout the day. Avoid alcohol and limit high caffeine drinks, as both can increase fluid loss and place additional strain on the body in the heat. Make use of scheduled shade breaks every 20 to 30 minutes during extreme temperatures, and wear light, breathable, moisture-wicking clothing to help your body stay cool. So begin each shift in the day well hydrated, continue drinking throughout the day, and rehydrate after work. It's also important to recognize the early signs of dehydration, such as headache, dizziness, fatigue, dry mouth, and muscle cramps, and to make sure that these symptoms are reported right away, whether you're feeling them or you observe them in others. Pre-hydrate by drinking water 1 to 2 hours before outdoor work and activities, especially on high heat days. And then finally, protect your skin with sunscreen, hats, and shade whenever possible, as reducing heat loads helps your body maintain hydration. So let's stay mindful, stay hydrated, and uphold our shared commitment to protect one another as temperatures rise. And you also have been provided a handout which summarizes everything that I've just talked about. It gives you hydration tips, what to do and when, as well as the medical resources, so that if you're interested in learning more, you have the links to do so. That's my message for today. Any questions?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I have a question. It's
Sure.
interesting. I've been in the insurance business. I have compliance that I have to do all the time with the company, fill it out, take courses.
Okay.
But it's financial for you. How does compliance manager in engineering? Explain that one to me. I mean, I'm just
So-
sitting here thinking, of Julie sitting there. Where's Julie? There you are. You're
Hey.
hiding. Oh,
There she is.
So I'm just curious.
No, and that's a great question. I appreciate you asking. The interesting thing about my role as a compliance manager is that I'm far-reaching. I'm able to work with every department within the company, whether it's engineering, water, electric, of course, water resources, because we're all regulated, and it's very important to all of us that we do the right thing. So yes, I'm with engineering, but I'm also throughout the company, and I have the privilege of working with all the teams within the company.
So you're basically our compliance manager.
Correct.
Okay. No, I thought you were over Julie or something. I was trying to figure that one out. Thank you.
You're
Good job.
welcome. Any other questions?
No, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate it. Do a great job keeping the safety front and foremost, Ephraim, in front of everybody.
Of course, yeah, and Michelle's position was particularly key, especially with all the new regulations. And it makes sense, increased scrutiny on every business.
Yeah. Okay, Ms. Simmons, roll call.
Okay, Vice Chairman Kelly,
Here.
Commissioner Smith,
Here.
Commissioner Davenport.
Here.
Commissioner Conrad,
Here.
Commissioner Devine.
Here. Do we have any changes or additions or deletions to the agenda?
No, Vice Chairman.
Thank you. At this time, we would like to have our folks with the public participation come up and speak. Tom and Joanne Cremini? Cremini? All right, if you want to come up to the podium and speak.
Hi, thanks for the opportunity to express our opinion. We bought a solar system a year ago and are very unhappy with the changes that the Utilities Commission has made to reimbursement. The way changes are calculated now doesn't subtract the solar power, our solar power that we produce from the utilities power as it was done in the past. And the rate that the utilities pays for excess solar power has dropped from 0.08318 to 0.02800, which is a 66% reduction in the reimbursement to those of us who have solar. We bought our system in March of 2025, having worked through these numbers to make sure that we would, that it was affordable. Had we known the way that the Utilities Commission was going to reimburse, we wouldn't have even bought solar, because it changes the break-even date from 8 years to 13 years, which is basically the life of a roof. So we'd have to buy a whole new solar system every time to make, I mean, we would have 4 years where it was paid for. One of the reasons that we put solar in was to reduce our carbon use. The new way of calculating it makes it not worth it to install a solar system for the lifespan of the system of 13 years. This shows a disinterest by the utilities company responding to global warming and to those of us who have bought solar systems.
Okay.
That's what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cremini. We'll have somebody from the staff get with you on that. Okay. And thank you for presenting, by the way. Thank you for
Mr.
participating.
Chairman?
Yes, sir.
I have
Mr.
a
Davenport.
question here. I agree with what this lady just said here. They've invested all this money. I mean, there's not a lot of people in this town that have solar, but the few that do have it, I'm sure maybe some of y'all have been reached out to. I have, that it's not fair the way they put that money in and we've changed it. And I have to agree with them. If there's anything we could do, is this mandatory? I mean, it's not.
It's in the tariff, and as we had communicated earlier, it's really the avoided cost, which is the cost of the purchase power. There is still the infrastructure and all the fixed costs that every customer needs to bear. So this is actually the more cost allocation, the proper cost allocation methodology across all customers. Everyone needs to share in the fixed cost to operate the system and maintain the poles, the wires, and the like.
Well, aren't they still operating if they're buying electricity? I know, like I said, they've invested a lot of money.
No, and just to actually have Ms. Council Rabels has communicated directly, and we've worked with on a response. Heather, did you want to?
Well, actually, the one thing I did want to point out was when in speaking with staff about this issue,
I was made aware that there was a rebate program that staff was working on, which I think might be, I don't know how far along that is, but that would be very helpful to the folks that have the solar systems right now. So there's something that, I don't know if Ephraim wants me to, I don't really know what the program is, but.
Yeah, so the program would be, that we're considering is a rebate on the purchase of solar batteries, in essence, so the individual solar customers can then purchase these batteries and store some of their power for their own use. So that'll help. And that's an incentive that we can provide to, in essence, alleviate, to promote some of that, where they can retain some of their own energy.
Would that be helping this lady here doing what you're saying?
If they purchase batteries, there will be a rebate, yes. Storage batteries.
Sir, if you would like to speak, just come up, walk up to the podium up there and state your name and
Thank you very much. My name is Richard Denton. I live at 32 Oak Tree Drive, New Smyrna Beach. I also am an owner of solar panels. And I think, so this rebate program might be good for people who buy new equipment, but we already have equipment that we purchased under the old system. The current system of reimbursement imputes zero value to solar energy, locally produced solar energy. I think you should consider that solar power is generated during the daytime and helps relieve the load on the power grid at the time when it is most stressed, thereby deferring or eliminating some of the need for upgrades to transmission lines and transformers. Solar panels raise the value of homes, which increase tax revenue. Also, by generating clean energy, solar panel owners do their part to combat accelerating sea rise, which is a direct threat to the economic well-being of our coastal community. So I ask you to reconsider this policy of the reimbursement. Thank you.
thank you very much. I did communicate this morning, I was looking at the community Facebook pages for the different areas of New Smyrna, and there was quite a bit of chatter on the solar issue, so it's something that we'll take seriously. There's a lot of people seem like it affected by it, but I just made that comment this morning before the meeting to someone. I saw that, and it was just starting. It was just last evening that it started, so I'm sure this morning when people wake up and go to get their news on the social media sites, that there'll be more chatter on it. So thank you for participating in the meeting. We appreciate the input. Thank you.
But, Mr. Chairman, we are addressing this now? We are?
To a certain extent, yes.
Correct.
Yes.
So just to, as we had summarized in some information, the solar customers, we need to have the proper cost allocation for all 32,000 customers. The previous reimbursement method wasn't fair to all customers. So this really is a correction of a process, an improvement actually for all customers, because the infrastructure, the poles, the wires, the maintenance, everyone is connected to the system. Everyone needs to, our rates reflect a cost allocation methodology to ensure that all costs are borne by all customers. The item that we're reviewing is if any any customer purchases batteries for to store the solar generated power, we will provide a rebate. That is the improvement. Otherwise, yes, that is the only change that we are considering at this time.
So I put solar on my house, and I buy batteries. You're gonna give me a rebate for the batteries cost, say, $5,000.
We would give a rebate, we were considering up to $3,000.
Yep. Read that. Sir, did you want to?
That's good, and I would appreciate that change. But like I said, I mean, we've already made an investment so the current system, like I said, it doesn't impute any value to electricity from solar power. It is the least friendly system that would not be theft of our power. That's the way I see it.
Commissioner Smith?
Ethan, is this policy consistent with like Florida Power and Light's policy?
Yes, a number of the utilities have implemented their goal. They're running into the similar type situation. The reimbursement should be for the avoided costs, which is the purchase power. That is what the reimbursement rate is based on. All utilities are going to that because that is, from a proper cost allocation standpoint, that is. When in 3 years, when we do another rate study, we will look at the reimbursement and it'll get updated for whatever the current rate of purchase power is. So that will adjust accordingly.
We're going to go ahead and let you deal with staff from here on out and have these discussions with them. And like I said, we appreciate the input. I read a lot about it last evening and this morning, comments on it. So I think it's just starting to come to the forefront a little bit and see, so we'll go that route if everyone's good with that. So thank you very much, and thank you for the input. Input makes everything work better usually, so thank you. All right, let's move on. We want to go to the approval of consent items. Do I have any discussion on the consent items?
I'd like to pull 3G for just a question.
3G? Okay. So we want to approve everything but 3G at the time?
That'd be my motion.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, Ms. Simmons?
Vice Chairman Kelly,
Yes?
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Davenport,
Yes.
Commissioner Conrad,
Yes.
Commissioner Devine.
Yes.
Okay.
It's just one question. There is a term that's in the backup that says thermal anomalies. Now, I could have probably Googled that, but I thought I'd hear what staff describes those to be.
So as part of the annual inspection program, there are consultants that in essence scan the equipment, and if there's high temperature reads, that typically is an indicator that there could be a potential failure coming up, so of equipment. So really, it's really that. It's
It's just overheating
yeah.
of parts?
Correct. And they'll do that scan of the equipment to identify those hot spots that we call them.
Okay,
So
thank you.
standard process, and it's a good proactive way to identify a failure before the failure will occur.
All right, want to get a motion to approve 3G then?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Simmons?
Vice Chairman Kelly,
Yes?
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Davenport.
Yes.
Commissioner Conrad,
Yes.
Commissioner Devine.
Yes.
Okay, general manager's report.
I'd ask Cody Gervin to come up and talk.
Mr. Bearden.
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon, Vermont.
All right, I'll be presenting February's financial performance updates. Next slide, please. Here are the list of items I will cover, which include the balance sheet, the income statement, capital expenses, and we'll separate those between unrestricted and restricted. Purchase power, which we added a chart that shows where we stand with actuals with the purchase power reserve compared to the rate study. And then I'll be going over high level the non-revolving line of credit. The committee met and we have selected an option that we will be seeking your approval for. So at the end of this presentation, we'll be wanting you guys to vote on that. Next slide, please. Cash available for operations is $17.9 million, which is adequate to support ongoing operations. Out of this, $2.9 million is in our operating account, and $8.4 million is set aside for the purchase power reserve. Restricted cash consists of capital connection fees of $8.4 million. Out of that restricted cash, $1.4 million is available for water projects, which is the pellet softening project that we have going on. Restricted Customer deposits is 3.9 million. And then we have that debt service, which is basically a placeholder account of 1.7 million. And that's what we use to pay our debt twice a year. And we'll be making a payment in April. These numbers do reflect the 2.3 million that we received from FEMA in February. We do still have about 300,000 outstanding, which we received 150,000 last week. So we are making progress with FEMA. Hopefully we can clear that out soon. Next
Given our
slide.
run rate, how many weeks is that 17.9 million cash?
So I'll get into that a little bit later in this presentation. But basically, if we're going, we have a chart in the appendix that if we were going on this on the track that we are now, we'll be dipping into that purchase power reserve in June. So we're planning a bond issuance in April, and if the markets don't give us the rates that we want to see, then we'll be issuing the line of credit and start drawing down on that in May. So at this pace, it would be June till,
Okay. Well, you'll come back to that? You're planning to touch on that?
yeah, I'll touch
Thank
on
you.
that.
Also in the debt service fund, Mr. Goodwin, 1.7 million, you said there's a payment coming out in April. How much is that payment?
It'll be right around that ballpark. So each month we move a portion of that. So
Take it.
I can find out the exact amount for you, but it'll be close to what we have in that account. Like
So-
we don't put any excess in that account.
Yeah, there's a set schedule, and this is all,
pulled.
yeah, it's all
pulled,
1/12
okay.
every month, and then it equals exactly what it's supposed
That's
to do.
kind of
when
what I
we
was
make-
wondering.
Yeah,
What is
that's just a snapshot at the
Is it a
point in time.
quarterly draw or just monthly draw? Is it-
No, we make in essence, set aside monthly as part of the close,
Yeah.
and then there's two payments, I guess.
Because you pay interest and then you do the principal payment.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Any other
Okay,
questions?
very good.
Good. All right, next slide, please. All right, this is a snapshot of our income statement. We are currently operating at a operating loss of 0.5 million. New rates did go in effect on 2/1, so I anticipate that to be kind of turning over the next month to an operating income, especially now that we're giving a credit back to our customers with that purchase power reserve. Change in net assets is $578,000 higher than this time last year, which is really due to higher operating revenues in all service areas. Electric went up $800,000 compared to this time last year. Water is up $400,000, and reclaim is $200,000 higher than this time last year. While water and reclaim rates are due to increases are due to higher consumption, and that 1 month of increased rates, electric is more impacted by the purchase power reserve. Really, with us giving the customers that $4.69 that was planned, as we eat into that purchase power reserve, that positively impacts our operating revenue. Next slide. Let me back up just 1 second, I'm sorry. So this is all offset by higher purchase power cost. So I do want to mention that last month when I presented, the price of natural gas was in the $7 range, which we haven't seen since, I think it was 2022, when Russia invaded Ukraine. This month, it is in the 3s of February, and then I looked at this morning, and it's actually in the 2s. So with all this stuff going on in the world right now, natural gas is at least stable. So hopefully we'll be seeing that in the purchase power cost.
Thank you.
Next slide. Days cash on hand is 4.2 months or 127 days. We have a chart in the appendix that is updated monthly that shows the unrestricted R&R forecast. And Divine's point, I'm thinking that's the 9.5 million that's available for capital projects. Currently, we are not projected to dip into our purchase power reserve until June of 2026. Therefore, we do have enough cash to support operations and capital until the April 2026 bond issuance. This is dependent on market condition. Our plan B is the line of credit, which Toby will get to in his presentation a little bit later. There's no significant changes in consumption, accounts, and revenue. We are seeing an increase in accounts between 1% to 2% compared to this time last year. Consumption is comparable, 3% increase in water and 1% increase in reclaim. Electric is still the outlier here. And really that's due to the milder weather compared to this time last year. That being said, our revenue numbers are positive. Next slide. Our fiscal year-to-date capital expenses is 11.3 million. 8.2 is related to major projects. 3.1 million of that was restricted expenses, which is majority of that would be for that pellet softening project, which you have 1.4 million remaining in that restricted cash. 5.1 million is unrestricted projects, which is the big ones are the WRF screw press and our AMI electric meters. And then to make up the rest of it, we have 3.1 million that is related to our annual projects, which is more routine projects such as transformers, installation of conduit and cable, and our condition-based pole replacements. Next slide.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Mr.
Got a question or an observation. On the unrestricted expenditures of 5.1 million, in that category, okay, we've got Silver Sands, septic to sewer. Is that, Ethan, is that cost and planning and the permitting and the
yeah.
drawing and?
It is right now, and then what we do is, so we've already done our first reimbursement request for almost $300,000. Darren and his team are working with the FDEP, I believe.
DEP?
Yep, so they're already working on getting that reimbursement, but the focus of the grant is we spend the funds and then we request reimbursement.
And that's another thing, when we had this meeting, this project, let's just round it off to 20 million. We'll be collecting funds along the way as we're dispersing. We send to DEP, and when we spend it, they'll send us.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's reimbursement, so we have to spend it, then we submit for reimbursement.
And that's moving along how?
Yeah, it is. We're still going back and forth on details with the state, but no issues expected. So.
And we got the lift station worked out all right?
Yep, they've,
job,
the
Jerry.
Civic Association signed off on the perpetual easement, and we're good to go. That was really the last hurdle, which occurred a few months ago, or
That's
2
great.
months ago.
Thank you, young man.
Next slide. So this is our over-under recovery chart. As you can see, it's a little bit of a roller coaster, but the blue line in the graph represents our purchase power recovery balance. We're sitting at 8.4, and our target is that $5 million at the end of FY27. Currently, that shift is sharper than what we anticipated, as you'll see on our next slide when you compare it back to the rate study. But we're looking at this closely, and then we'll make sure we're comfortable for where we stand with this purchase power reserve. We don't want to go under that $5 million target. Next slide.
So have you modeled the rate implications of this faster than expected withdrawal? Because didn't we, in the rate plan, model that we were gonna return some of this over the next, I believe it was a year and a half?
Yeah, so this slide right here, basically this is, can't see the color on the lines from here, but basically you have what the rate study's projecting over FY27, and then the red is actual. So between the two, the rate study has us sitting at 8.9 million, and we're currently at 8.4, so we're within like 6% of what the rate study projected. But
So given that, how does that materialize with the rate? Is it just the reduction in the rate is shorter than planned, or is it, do we
Yeah.
reduce the rate by some amount over the entire plan?
yeah, so basically purchase power cost is a pass-through, so like if it continued to go in this shift, then we would probably cut back on the credit in FY '27. The last thing that we want to do is to go below the $5 million.
But we're monitoring it monthly, so, and there was, since the gas prices and natural gas purchase power is a little higher, well, it was higher because of that first few days in February. Now that things are starting to calm down, we haven't seen, because really nat gas spiked, had nothing to do with the geopolitical tensions in Iran and the like. So that we expect that gap to close down a little bit, and that's why we're monitoring it monthly. But we're comparing where we're at every month to what the forecast was in the rate study balance at the end of the month, so.
So I guess let me be more specific on the question. There was some dollar amount that rates got reduced for this period of time. I think it was over, a year and a half. So did I hear you say that during the rest of fiscal '26, that rate plan will not change? It just means that in '27, the duration by which we reduce the rate plan would just be shorter.
Yes.
Is that right?
Correct, because let's say we hit the 5 million much quicker than what we had planned, then yes, we would have to, our target is to maintain the 5 million target balance, but yes, you are correct. That reimbursement in '27 may have to get cut back, but per our prior discussions, that's how we're monitoring it. And as long as it stays within, right now it's within that 6% range, we'll just keep track of it and we'll have an update. But we are monitoring closely. I do want to say we, even with all of the issues in the Mideast currently, it has had no impact to natural gas. So in essence, it has actually stayed relatively low in the low threes, and I believe this morning it was a little bit below 3, so that's a good thing. Secondly, on the as it relates to petroleum-based products, materials, we have not seen any requests from vendors requesting, hey, sharp price increases because of oil. No change there. Now, what we could see, if this is a very prolonged conflict, we may get fuel surcharge requests from transportation companies, similar to what we did in COVID. But as of today, two fronts. Natural gas has stayed relatively in a good position for us, and the impact to our materials, anything that we store or purchase in a warehouse, there's been no impact. So, and to your point, we will continue to monitor on how we're doing on that reimbursement.
Thank you.
Good comment, thank you.
Next slide, please. Okay, so here is the, so this is the non-revolving line of credit. So the committee members were myself, Ephraim, and Julie on the team. And then if you see on the screen, we selected Bank of America. And it was pretty straightforward in the selection. We're just trying to get the lowest cost, so the best rate. And then with Bank of America, they gave us a flexible maturity option between 1 and 2 years. So if the market conditions still, if they're still at where they're at today, then we will be exercising this line of credit as a plan B. So at this time, we just ask for y'all to vote on our selected option.
And we'll cover, sorry, apologies, go
I
ahead.
have a question. So just what makes the difference in 100 and a 10? I mean, I get 175, but how can somebody be 90% different than?
It's the scoring system. You're gonna see when you do the audit.
Okay.
If Maureen's in here, she could probably give a little bit more to that, but it's how it's scored. I mean, one of it's like interest rates, and then I forget what the other criteria
Well, that was what I was
was.
kind of wondering, what's the criteria in scoring? I mean, that's a huge swing.
Yeah, so if you, similarly as if you were to refinance or get a line of credit on your home, it's what are the lowest cost to close, as well as what is the interest rate.
Okay.
So that's where, and I believe on those, there's 2 or 3 components, and then each of those have a rating,
Yep.
a weighting, and then you score it accordingly.
So all of it's math, it's just a different weighting on.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly it.
Connie, Regarding the recommendation that staff has, $60 million to Bank of America, from Bank of America, how did the $60 million get calculated? Why is it 60, why isn't it 40, why isn't it 80?
So it's up to 60? Oh, go ahead. I mean, it's really,
An option for.
Well, it's a line of credit, so it can be drawn down as needed.
correct, yes. We would not expect, we want the flexibility to have as high of amount as possible, depending on how this occurs. But really, the 60 million was come about based on what was approved to issue on the bonds, 80 plus million, plus this amount equals the grand total of 130 million that we got approval from the city. We're working out the details now with council to then finalize that up to 60 amount. Currently, we're approved for 60 million of a line of credit, but we are finalizing the amounts that it will eventually be. Either way, there will be on a drawdown schedule. We will not be drawing all of this at one time.
And are you suggesting that the $60 million has been, or 40 or 20, whatever it happens to be, is potentially what we'd be approving as additional if the bond offering comes through at 80, or is this in lieu of?
This is in lieu of until the bonds get issued, and they would roll into the bonds, actually.
Yeah, this is just like a,
Essentially-
oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say,
I
this is what we
understand
asked
that,
for,
but-
which is the backup plan. So, but it's still not clear to me, you know, if we decide to wait a year and let things settle down or things get worse, what is the cost differential between the bond and this 3.2% rate?
So I think Toby's probably gonna go into that further with the rate study, like the
Yeah.
cost of debt for the interest rate that was used in our rate study for the bonds
Right.
versus the line
So
of
that's
credit.
coming up?
Yeah, this is coming up. This is
Okay.
just like, hey, this is the lowest rates, overall, this is our selection, and then I'm just asking you to approve this. And then he'll go down to like the drawdown
Great.
schedule and kind of get in the details of it.
Commissioner Davenport?
Yes, sir. Didn't I, with Commissioner Devine's question, y'all sent us that information, did you not? Because I
Correct, but Toby can go through it further. The approval, so
thought I'd read that. Go ahead, though.
so this was Cody just summarizing that we selected it. The approval will be in 6B, requesting your approval then. But to alleviate any concern, this is if we don't issue the bonds during that April timeframe, this is in lieu of this. We would then take, let's say we draw on, just throwing out theoreticals here, we draw 27 million out. That will then, provide us cover until the end of the year, or as long as, depending on the cash use. When the market gets better on the bonds of the Series 2026, we would then roll that line of credit balance into the bonds. So we are not asking for any more money.
Right.
The grand total is the 88 million that is being requested within 6B. This is just in lieu of to get us to a stable market.
It's a bridge loan is all it is. It's just a bridge to get us,
Yes.
I've done
Correct.
this before, and, we're taking some risk here. Toby and I talked about it. We don't know what interest rates are gonna do. They're at what, 5.25 right now, if we were to do it? If we do it now, we get a better rate. So,
But-
I think doing the right thing here, doing Plan B.
But this is a short-term solution.
Right.
It is not meant to be a long-term, because as you know, the risk is in the longer term that the rates, of course, will be higher. This is in lieu, let's put it this way, if at the beginning of March, the 10-year yield was right around 4% or just below 4%, the minute that the conflict kicked off, then the 10-year yield went substantially higher, which then, if that hadn't occurred, we would not even be talking as much about the line of credit as we are today.
Right.
Thank you for accommodating my questions so that this got into the transcribed record.
And I think it's a,
Paper's good, but having it discussed is better.
And I think it's a great thing, the line of credit, and I think Commissioner Devine brought it up a couple months ago, and the BOA reps that were here was predicting 4 interest rate decreases for the year for the bond rates, right? And
Yep.
so Powell's contradicted that to this point, saying there may be 1 reduction this year. So it was a good venue, a good lesson for us to all take in. So thank you.
So you need a motion to approve?
Actually, we can cover it in 6B.
6B?
Yeah, we'll
Okay,
cover it in
that's what we
6B.
got.
Okay.
And then maybe Cody, for, maybe do you want to go just look at that, go next to the slide, slide 13, which would be the unrestricted R&R?
Yes. All right, so this is basically showing you that R&R balance. So we have 8.4 million available for committed projects. So that's taking the entire balance of 17.9 and taking out the purchase power reserve. Because what we don't want to do is use that purchase power reserve for capital projects. So basically what this is showing you is the trend that we're going in. Once we get into June, we would be using that purchase power reserve. So this is where we're going to be in the perfect situation. We would, go get that bond issuance in April. But if the rates don't work with us, then we'll be drawing down on this line of credit. And my recommendation would be doing that in May.
And would we then replenish from the bond proceeds the amount of money that was used from purchase power reserve?
So we're not even going to be into purchase power reserve at all. So but yeah, we won't even be in that situation. Because we'll be drawing down on that line of credit in May, and we have, in June is when we would be hitting into that purchase power reserve, but we don't plan to do that. So we won't even have to worry about that.
Thank you.
But is the Bank of America rate of 3.2, is that locked through to May, or is that variable?
It'll be variable, and Toby can talk about it a little bit. It's variable as a function of SOFR, which took over for LIBOR. But it should stay around that, close to that. But we don't expect a substantial change. But Nathaniel or Toby can talk about that.
How long will it take to execute if we should decide to do
So our plan is to bring the documents to you in April, at the April meeting, to execute those documents, and then we could close right after that. So that'll be a separate resolution. Jen Taylor, Heather Gray Robinson's council will then put that together.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I have none.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Cody. Okay. Council Ramos, do you have anything for us?
I do. I just have a couple quick comments. The legislature adjourned on March 13th, so many of the items that I brought up to you last month in the memo that I handed out either died in session or just never moved forward. One thing that did get presented to the governor is an increase for the sovereign immunity levels. I do expect that that's going to pass. They're going from, if it does pass, would go from 200,000 per person, 300,000 per incident, to 350,000 per person and 500,000 per incident. And there's a nice provision, well, not nice, but there's an extra provision in that bill that says if a local government wants to go ahead and settle with a claimant for something that's above the sovereign immunity levels, that the insurance company for the local government cannot say, we will not allow this or we will not pay this without a claims bill. So it's beneficial to the language is beneficial to the government, and this has been the first time, I think the sovereign immunity level has been raised since 2002, I believe. So it's been long coming. And then one other point I did want to raise about the solar customers, because it's something that I learned, so I thought this might be useful to the commissioners in case this comes up in discussion. Each solar customer signs a net meter rider interconnection agreement with the Utility Commission. And in that agreement is specific language which expressly states that there is no guarantee about what the reimbursement or the compensation levels will be, and it specifically says in that agreement that those levels can change from time to time.
Okay. Thank you very much for that information. That's good to know. Because it just wouldn't seem right if it didn't have language in there, you know, so it's good
Correct.
to know about.
Correct.
Okay, old business. We need approvals for item A, B, and C. Selection, C was selection and evaluation committee for audit services.
So, Vice Chairman, what we'll do is, so A is approving the ACFR, and then Cody can talk about that if there's any other questions, but really it was following Ron Whiteside's the partner in charge on the account, so his presentation. On the Selection Evaluation Committee, this is just a finalization. I believe 4 of the 5 commissioners are going to serve on as the Audit Selection Committee.
Correct.
And
We had one withdraw.
yeah, and 1 withdrew, so,
Okay.
yep. And then 6B, I can have Toby Wagner come up and kind of present or walk through the part of the presentation or address any questions that we may have. And I do want to address, we do have Toby Wagner, the municipal advisor for New Smyrna Beach Utilities. We have Jen Taylor with Gray Robinson. We have Nathaniel Johnson with the Bank of America, the lead underwriter on the deal. So I'd, if it's okay, I'd ask Toby Wagner to come up and discuss or address 6B.
Morning. Good morning, Commissioners. Toby Wagner, Southeastern Investment Securities, Municipal Advisor to the Commission. I'm going to take Jen's or Michelle's advice for a moment here.
Could you speak in that microphone, please, a little closer?
Is that any better?
Yes, sir.
Is that better? Welcome back to the board, Mr. Davenport. Good to see you again. First of all, I want to congratulate the commission on the bond ratings that you received. You maintained the same ratings that you had in 2020 on the first bond issue, and that's a AA from Fitch and a AA2 from Moody's. So congratulations to you for that. That shows that you've got a strong financial position. Your governance is very strong. You've got the ability and willingness to raise rates when necessary. And so all of that went into factors, along with others, demographics and other things, to achieve those ratings. So that was conferred upon you probably about 2 weeks ago, something like that. This agenda item is the approval of a supplemental bond resolution, and it's supplemental to the master bond resolution, which whenever you issue bonds, you issue them underneath that master bond resolution. And so this is a very similar resolution to what was adopted back in 2020 for the other bond issue that's outstanding, and very similar in nature. It's got some delegated powers that delegates the chairman and the executive director and other staff members to execute a bond purchase agreement at an appropriate time. Jen Taylor serves as bond counsel, as Ephraim mentioned, and she'll discuss the bond resolution in depth. Probably about a week ago, you received the resolution along with a bunch of exhibits. Resolution's about 12 pages. The exhibits were only 350 pages. And Jen will be glad to go through those with you.
Yeah,
Read
let's do them one by one.
Right. And subsequent to that, you received a PowerPoint presentation.
Smart.
And I don't see that up on the screen. And I don't know if you want us to go through that, whether you want us to summarize that, or how you'd like to proceed, or whether you just want to take up the resolution. I'm here to answer any questions or go through this PowerPoint presentation with your discretion.
Commissioners, you want to go through it, or you just want to vote on it? Do people have questions?
I think, Mr. Chairman, I feel after what Toby just said, that was great news to sit here and hear. Moody, you said double A? rating?
Yes, double A2.
Double A2, and Finch was
Double A.
okay.
So they're one below
That
a.
is so good to hear setting up here, isn't it?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Anyway, I feel that they put so much time into it, and I've read it. I'm comfortable with everything personally. I feel we're going the right direction. We've talked about this with everything going, interest rates going on the way they are. I feel the line of credit right now is the way we should go. And then just take a chance on it, and hopefully these rates will come down, and then we make a move. That's my thoughts after everything I've heard.
Well, but what you're proposing is not to necessarily take on the line of credit today, correct? You're just giving information, or we're seeking the approval of the recommended bank as the line of credit, not to take the line of credit.
Correct. There are certain parameters that Jen can go over in the resolution, and those are interest rate parameters, as well as the maturity date, redemption dates, and so forth. And one of the parameters in there is an interest rate not to exceed 5.50%, and I think that Ephraim wanted to comment on that and probably lower that parameter to 5%. And but I'll let him speak to that. And then also we had one other parameter in there that that resolution, if we didn't get into the market before July, then we'd come back to you. We'd like to extend that date. I think Ephraim would like to do that. So
Could Jen do a recap or some type of smaller presentation, maybe
Yeah,
25 pages instead of 345?
Exactly. So what, I guess to just, yes, we'll have Jen come up right after this, but to address what we're asking for in 6B ultimately is the approval to proceed with the Series 2026 bond issuance. We would then market, once we receive your approval, we would then market the issuance, see what the market looks like from an interest rate perspective. If it's determined that we're not gonna, that it doesn't look good to enter the market, we will come back at the April meeting with the documentation, the resolution around, in essence, issuing the line in credit in lieu of doing the Series 2026 bonds. But Jen Taylor can definitely talk to it. And then just a couple of comments. So what we were going to do was reduce the target, the all-in true interest costs from 5.5 in the documents to 5, and then also extend it from July end date to the end of the year, in the sense that that gives us more time to see where the market settles out at. But I think at this point, Jen could probably come up and summarize, unless, Toby, any other comments?
I'd like to answer one question that Commissioner Devine asked. This is a variable rate, and it's tied to SOFR, which is the secured overnight financing rate. which took the place of LIBOR. LIBOR had a nefarious past where there was some market manipulation by some of the British traders, and so they replaced that with SOFR. SOFR stays pretty steady over the last 6 months or so. It hasn't fluctuated like our market has. It's been pretty steady. But again, the risk that you have with the line of credit is that it's a variable rate. But you can get out of it at any time. You can take that out with bonds, or you can change from SOFR to something else. So it's very flexible. And so the rate right now is a 3.28 based upon last week, and that's a difference of about 1.36%. The delta between the bond rate and the variable rate is about 1.36. It's that much lower. So, and then to answer Commissioner Conrad's question about the sizing of that, that's still to be determined. We've got the ability to go up to 60 million. We could take down just 25 million if we want. It all depends on when we go into the bond market to take the line of credit out, how long we have to wait, how deep you go into your cap plan. So, you know, your cap plan's 80 million. Well, 60 million isn't 80 million, but we don't expect the line of credit to be out that as long as your cap plan. So we asked for 60 million. I don't think we'll close on 60 million, and I don't think we'll even draw down whatever we close on. We'll probably close on or draw down less. So what's influencing things in our market is really the oil situation. If that can get controlled, then our market will start to stabilize. We have a market, funds are being transferred, bonds are being sold. It's just not a market that we would recommend that you go into right now. So you may be able to get into the market in weeks. It may be a month or two.
Mr. Chairman?
That we'd be in the line of credit. So we aren't prepared to have you take action on the line of credit today. As Ephraim said, we'd come back at the May meeting. I think the resolution, Jen can speak to this, but I think the resolution's going to be very similar to what you're seeing today in this supplemental resolution. Does that answer,
Yeah,
does that
what,
answer your question?
what about Toby, and y'all said you're gonna go to the end of the year on this line of credit?
No, the extension on the Series 2026 bonds, giving us that flexibility to, let's say the market settles down in
Right.
July or August, then we would issue the bonds at that time. The original end date in the documents today is July. These were drafted prior to the conflicts in the Middle East that we're running into now.
What about doing it 1 year? I mean, give us more time to,
I mean,
Well, we could do a year, but there's no reason why we
Right.
can't come back to you
Okay.
in
Right,
6
right.
months. or
Options.
so-
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
flexibility
really,
and options.
yeah. All we're doing is giving staff the flexibility that if April 10th comes around and we have a good market, we're gonna jump in on the bonds before we come back on the line. If we're in the line, first part of May, and it runs until July or August, we want to be able to still get in the bond market. You meet monthly. The market operates 24 hours a day, and so it's volatile right now. And so we're going to catch the
Thank you
market
for
when
that
we can.
additional, I'm sorry.
Yes, good. I was gonna say AI is up all the time. Commissioner Devine?
Yeah, I understand everything you just described. What I'm still not clear about are the variables in this algorithm that are saying to hold. And I think you mentioned you want to change it from 5.5 to 5. I'm looking for the rationale behind the 5 or the 5.5 and where is that go, no go? What is the
So,
mathematics of the push or to issue the bond? And one last, I suppose there's there's something in the algorithm that says one day in the future it's gonna come down. I don't know what that date or
Right.
rate is.
So, Bank of America Securities, your underwriter, has been tracking the market, probably since June or before then? Yeah, May of last year, and so we've been watching it weekly. And we've seen where the rates have been, and they've been in the, anywhere from, I think, probably 440 to 460. Is that sort of the range?
The better part of the third quarter, we were above 5, and we came back down.
Right. So, when you look at the history over the last 6 months or so, it tells us when we had a stable market that we'd be right around 450, 475, something like that. Now we're above, a little bit above 5. So we think if things can stabilize in the Mideast to the point where the market goes back, there's plenty of money in the market. There are investors that really want to invest in our market, and there isn't a lot of supply for the main reason nobody wants to go into the market and put their bonds up for sale during these conditions. So we think the market's going to come back to us and get below 5 and start to hit a more normal pattern. Does that make sense?
It does. I was just looking for more of the mathematics of what you're describing as somewhat of a subjective decision.
There's no algorithm. It's the market.
Yeah. Well, the algorithm in comparison, the short-term interest rates that we get versus the long-term bond, those are.
If you can be stable at the rate, the variable rate is right now, you're much better staying in that position. But again, you're a public entity, you're taking a risk. It's not a personal investment that you're dealing with. So one other thing that we'll look at is, in terms of how much money we take down, is can we invest that money at a higher rate than what SOFR is, and will SOFR stay there, and we'll still have a positive margin there that you're earning money on that reinvestment until you need to spend it according to the draw schedule. So that's another opportunity that we have.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make an observation coming to work this morning. I call this work, if you will. Talk about the natural gas prices coming down, how they dropped, and talking about how oil is coming down. But with this war going on, there's so much darn uncertainty in everything, and I just feel this is the right thing to do because, like I said, natural gas was $7, now it's back down to $2. And then we got a maximum cap on this at 5%, right?
Correct.
We're gonna borrow the money. There's a lot of moving parts here between the board. We're gonna have to work with staff and Ephraim on the capital improvements we do with this money during this period of time. So we're just gonna have to be extra cautious and be on point to get the best interest rate. And that's what we're trying to do here. Is that the bottom line, really? We're just we got the money, but we gotta move slow. Like you said, we're gonna have 60, but we need 80. So we'll have to work through that. We know we got our water plant to do, so.
Right. The nice thing is you have alternatives to the fixed rate market right now if you want to take advantage of it with the line of credit.
Correct.
So we got a 3.2 interest rate right now on a floater with a,
Correct.
or we got approximately a 5+. So that difference is huge, could be huge.
Right.
I understand everything. I'm clear.
Thank you, Commissioner. And I think Commissioner Devine brought it up, 3 months ago about the line of credit and as a backup. So
Yeah.
I think it's prudent.
Do we need a motion on this to
So
move forward?
we'll need a motion to approve items 6A, B, and C if there's no discussion on the others.
We need
Well,
it
can we do
different.
them separately,
We can do them
please?
separately, sure. Motion to approve 6B.
I make a motion to approve 6B, supplemental resolution 2026-03, series 2026, utility system revenue bonds and associated exhibits and agreements.
Second.
Okay,
Can I make one comment before you go?
absolutely.
Would you prefer to do that with the two amendments we were talking about, going from 5.5% to 5%, and also extending it beyond July 1 to the end of the year?
Just to make
Yes.
sure, the
Is that
5% is
acceptable?
tied to the bond rating or to the variable
No,
short-term
that-
loan?
No, that's to the long-term bonds,
Yeah,
yes.
that's what I thought, not the short-term.
So we would come back to you if we were in a market that stayed at 5.01 or something like that, we'd be coming back to you and saying, we're not gonna hit the 5%, it doesn't look like, do you wanna change the rate?
I think change it to 5 would be my
Yes.
input.
Yep.
Okay,
So,
well,
so
Toby, I'll add that in there, what you said, the 5% and the
end of year.
End of the calendar year.
end of the calendar year. Yes, I'll add that into that
Thank you.
motion.
And is that staff's recommendation?
Yes, it is.
And Commissioner Devine seconded, does he
Yes.
accept those as
Yes.
well? Okay, thank you.
Okay, any discussion on 6A?
No, we're doing 6B.
Oh, I thought you just approved it.
Made
We
a
didn't
motion on
vote.
6B.
Okay, I'm sorry. Ms. Simmons?
Okay, this is item 6B, and the resolution part. The second LOC motion for award will come after this. Okay, so we have Vice Chairman Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Davenport.
Yes.
Commissioner Conrad,
Yes.
Commissioner Devine.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Acting Chairman,
Yeah.
I just want to remind you what Yogi said. It's tough to make predictions, especially about the future.
That's right.
So that's where I see that's where the kind of the problem is.
Yes, sir.
Things are in such turmoil that we're trying to make a good judgment based upon what we don't know, which is kind of scary.
Do agree.
Yeah, that's 100%, yes.
Thank you for your time and service, and I expect we'll probably see you at the April meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, Mr. Chairman, observation, what Commissioner Smith is kind of scary, and it is, but it's also that we got these two ratings here so good.
Yep.
And we're in a position, because like Toby said, when we do go to the market, like the last bond we went to, there was $750 million bidding on our, there was all kinds of investors in cash. We're in a good position, but it is a little, it is concerning, but we're making the right decision, I feel. We all just voted yes, so.
Well,
We're
I
doing the
think-
right thing for the right reasons, but it is scary.
Well, the only thing that's going to remain constant is the bond rating.
Yes, yes, that is a very good statement.
There's
It
never any
does.
guarantees in the bond market, but your rating is something you can control. right?
Correct,
We can
and-
control that. by
Yeah, and
good
we,
management.
Fitch, there's an annual review process typically after the ACFR's issued. There's always a question and answer with them every year. So, and that's an opportunity for them to adjust it. We've met with them every year for the last 6 years.
So now we need part 2 of 6B,
Need
Oh,
a
Part 2 of 6B, which is
motion to award.
motion to award the line of credit to Bank of America.
I'll make that motion to award it to Bank of America, the line of credit.
Second.
And that's a variable line,
Yes.
Yes,
and on the interest rate.
correct.
Is there any cap on that?
60 million in there.
Yeah.
60 million?
The cap on the amount to issue is 60.
It's what you're asking for, right? Is it?
The rate is variable.
Right.
Right.
Interest rate index within that proposal.
Right.
And so by approving them, we'll abide by the term sheet they submitted, and fill out documents in accordance with a loan agreement in accordance with that.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, what you just said, I have a question. Is there a cap I know we're starting out at 3.2, but is there a cap on the interest rate, what it can go to?
No, it's very.
No.
Okay, I know. But sometimes you got a variable and they'll put a cap on it.
But you've got the flexibility to get out of it.
Right.
Right.
Okay, I just,
And there's no floor either.
okay.
Ms. Simmons?
Okay,
One other,
Oh,
just
good.
point
Commissioner
before the
Devine.
vote, if you could, I forget who made the observation, but it was interesting how variable the ratings of the banks were. If you could just
Yeah, that
have
was-
somebody send out what that criteria was,
Okay.
that'd be helpful.
Yeah,
Yep.
it was a 90-point swing.
Yeah.
Well, it's the comfort level of the evaluator based on personal and professional
You've
experience.
done that before, right?
But it does come down, I mean, but it is ultimately, it's similar to shopping for a line of credit on your home.
Right.
Who's got the lowest cost and who's got the lowest rate? And who's giving you as much maximum approval or line?
Ms. Simmons?
okay, just a confirmation. Commissioner Devine, you were second on the LOC motion?
I
I
can't
think,
yes.
I think I was.
Or-
Oh, you were?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, I couldn't catch who it was. Thank you. Okay, so, Vice Chairman Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Davenport,
Yes,
Commissioner Conrad,
Yes,
Commissioner Devine.
Yes.
Okay. Now we are ready for 6A, approval fiscal year 2025 annual comprehensive financial report, audit by Purvis Gray and Company.
I apologize for this question in advance because I did not look at all of the pages of the board packet. But was there a signed opinion in there? When we met last time, it was a draft, and I'm assuming it's been finalized, but I don't know if that was included in the packet that I would have looked
Yes.
at if
Yep.
I'd done it.
Yes, fully executed, and actually it's in the packet twice, because it's in the 6B items, and then it was separate because of the 6A, which is your, requesting your
Okay, so
approval.
that signed opinion.
Oh,
is in
yes,
there.
mhm,
Okay.
everything's in there.
I make a motion to approve.
second.
Ms. Simmons?
Vice Chairman Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Davenport,
Yes,
Commissioner Conrad,
Yes,
Commissioner Devine.
Yes.
Okay, 6C, approval for selection evaluation committee for audit services.
I make a motion to approve.
Second? Ms. Simmons?
And that was Commissioner Devine, right?
That was me.
That was you again?
Yeah.
I'm hearing it, I'm not seeing it, sorry.
Me, how would you know? It could be him.
Okay.
It's later.
Vice Chairman Kelly,
Yes.
I'm sorry, I
Commissioners-
had one clarification
Okay.
I'm
for the
sorry.
vote. This is for 25 or for the future?
This will be for the future audits, because their contract is up. So in essence, this would be for fiscal year 26's audit, yep, which hasn't occurred yet. We're in the middle of fiscal year 26. This is for you to be on the committee to make your evaluation and the like.
Not
Yeah.
the selection, but the, yeah.
Picking, exactly, whoever submits responses, then you'll evaluate those and pick,
Thank you.
pick the one.
so Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
so the RFPs come in, then they'll be sent to us, and we'll be reading them and looking and grading them, right?
Correct.
Green? Okay.
I think that was your request, Commissioner
Yes,
Devine.
yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
And
Thank
it's
you.
my understanding that we are silent on our evaluations.
Right.
Okay, looking for a motion on that?
we have Ms.
I think you
Conrad
got it.
and you.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Ready?
Ms. Simmons, yep,
Vote.
yep.
Vice Chairman Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Davenport,
Yes.
Commissioner Conrad,
Yes,
Commissioner Devine.
Yes.
New business. Sounds like old business, Western Complex.
Yeah, this new business here, Mr. Chairman, is 7A's been going on for 7 years, this new
Yes.
business.
I've only been here for a few of them, and it seems really old. So,
We got a couple of chairmen that are dead working on it.
that's all.
let looking for approval on a draft motion for Phase 1 for NSBU Western Complex Strategy Planning Committee.
Make that motion right there.
Second?
Ms. Simmons?
Okay, ready to go. Vice Chairman Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith,
No.
Commissioner Davenport,
Yes.
Commissioner Conrad,
Yes.
Commissioner Devine.
Yes.
Okay. Possible other business, time for commissioners.
Well, you want to go to 8B?
I'm sorry. Good, we have approval there. I do on the Western, well, I'll wait till comments. 8B, discussion item, determination when to hold a future election for NSBU commission officers. Thank you for postponing that, by the way.
8B.
So would,
And I'd say we get some stability and figure it all out and move on, you know, let's,
well, I have my feelings on it. I do think, Commissioner Vine's done a great job with putting the facts and figures and some math together for us on the Western Complex. That was a great little presentation. And Buddy, you have spearheaded that charge here for a while. So, my feelings on that going forward, I would probably like to see you to get back on the chair situation. And I think it is a priority. I think, if you, especially you live out there, by the way, if you're coming east today, I transgressed, the sun was sitting right on top of the I-95 overpass. It was absolutely beautiful. That area is just gonna grow. It's just gonna grow. Deering Park's gonna come through there. They're already clearing back on the south end, and it's an inevitable growth area. And I think as it grows, I think the powers to be will create roads and access to that complex where we may not have to invest as much as we think we would have to in there. So,
at this time, Mr. Chairman, I tell you, I'd love to do that because y'all have southern accent. Venetian Bay has a lot of flood, still the flooding, right?
yeah, we still have flooding
This
issues.
land adjoining your land, I've looked at it hard, I spent a lot of time. There's ways to help that subdivision out. We have enough land that literally could flow right over, and help y'all fix that problem. The way I feel, looking how our land borders that, and we're not using that part over in that area. So it's something to look at for that area too, helping the people out there.
Yeah, no, I will agree with you, and it's yet to be seen what the overpass interchange is gonna do with that watershed. And I've been on every inch of that watershed out there on the Spruce Creek, on the creek and on both sides of 95, and it's interesting concept from what you hear from planners and things to what it reality really is visually. But I'm not an engineer, so I don't know that. So that's just my layman's observation. So as far as that goes, I would probably, I don't know if we appropriate it, but nominate you to be the chair going forward for the rest of the year.
I'd be happy to accept that if others would like for me to be.
Any discussion, commissioners? Make a motion to, is that a motion, Ms. Simmons, or is that another meeting? Ms. Ramos?
So we have a nomination, and we vote on that for chairman now, is what they're asking.
Sure, yeah, absolutely, you can vote on for now.
Okay. So nomination for chair, Mr. Davenport, Vice Chairman Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Davenport,
Yes.
Commissioner Conrad,
Yes.
Commissioner Devine.
Yes.
Well, I've got to say, if you ever thought I'd be setting up here again,
You told
this
us.
quick with some wonderful people that, given 9 years to this, I mean, hours and hours, and seeing it evolve with such wonderful people. When I first got on here, we never got any of this information like we get today, the financials, and Mr. Bunch, Ephraim, Julie, this whole team just turned literally this utilities around. And it's been a interesting journey, and I'm anxious to see how we proceed forward when you've given, like I said, the time, and you're interested in seeing things happen for the future of this community.
Yeah.
And that's the way I see it. So thank you. I'm honored, very much so. Thank you. I love working with every single one of you. And Commissioner Smith, you make me laugh a lot.
It's always a great perspective. So now we will look to 8A. Thank you, Commissioner Conrad, for reminding me on that. That was a very important part of it, and I was so glad you brought that up. Approval of 8A, confirm final determination for the commissioner attendance for FEMA Annuals Conference in July, I believe.
Correct, yes.
I'd like to share with Mr. Chairman that for those of you who haven't gone to this annual conference is so informative. When the speakers get up, they talk about the electric vehicles, the charging, the batteries. They cover everything. And of course, was it last time, Mr. Ephraim, that they covered us? They had our new Smyrna Beach Utilities.
Yep, I believe
They
so.
had a special on the screen, 1,000 people in the room,
Yeah.
showing New Smyrna Beach Utilities and what a good organization it was. So this is very informative. You just don't want to buy any oysters at $10 an oyster at this conference. So I'd like to go. And
Cody said he's in.
So you can put me down. I'd like to go to this again. I enjoy it.
I think I will put myself in my Miss Simmons this year too. I'm gonna take this one. Okay, good, thank you.
Commissioner Devine?
I had put myself in there as well.
Okay.
Commissioner Smith, you going?
Yes,
Good. Right? Yes.
and all the oysters are on you.
No, it's just it's a funny story. I want to get some oysters. Told me $10 an oyster. So that is not going to happen.
Take a half.
Just give me one.
You take a half.
So we've been laughing about that, so.
I'd kind of like to make a suggestion to CEO Chavez related to this conference. I think it would be nice if you could arrange to have at least one staff leadership person attend as well as you.
What a great thought.
I think it's nice to have the rest of our staff. I know you had that opportunity when Mr. Bunch was here because you always attended as our finance director, so.
Okay, sounds good.
I think it's a great idea. Great idea. Okay, look for a motion then to approve that. Attendance?
I don't know
We
if
need
that-
approval?
I don't think.
Do we need it?
We don't need a
Do
motion.
we need a mo-
for it?
We will, for attending the conference, we
Yes.
get a public acknowledgement. It's not really a motion. We can make a motion. What do you feel? She says no.
Okay.
We're good.
All right.
Need it.
She's saying we're good.
Let's move into time for commissioners. Chairman Davenport.
I just want to say thank you. I've watched this. I hadn't missed the meeting. I didn't sit out there, but I'd sit at home watching them. A couple of times I sat at home, had to make me a drink in the middle of the afternoon watching everything. Just kidding, no, just kidding. But this is a great organization. Our team members, the employees you're passionate, and it's really great to be a part of it, and I'm glad to be back to work with every one of you and try to do the best we can do for the community. That's what we're here for, so thank you, and Ephraim, thank you, and I want to say, Toby and that organization, our auditors, just to hear this today, AA2 and AA, is really, it just makes you feel, knowing that I just knew this was going to happen, so I played that one right. I should have bet on it, but thank you, Toby, and I know how the auditors are, so y'all went through everything, so thank you, and we're in good shape, and we're just in a challenging time right now. That's all I'm gonna say, but again, I look forward to working with every single one of you. Thank you.
We're glad to have you back.
I'm glad to be sitting beside you, Commissioner Conrad.
Any other comments?
No, but thank you all for what you've done. We've accomplished a lot here today. It's taken us quite a while to get here. It's a pleasure working with all of people on the dais, and let's move forward. Let's find those bond rates going down so we can get this
Yeah.
done.
Commissioner Devine?
Nothing for me, thanks.
Mr. Smith? Please. So, thank you, Heather, for the presentation for our CEO. That was great and informative. Buddy, glad to have you back on board, and I'll get off the Western Complex thing, but I think it's, Commissioner Devine spent a lot of time with it. I know the City Commission is now all aware of it fully, and I was not for it at all. I had wanted it in the beginning of it. But I do think now that it is time to move forward or kill it, one or the other. And that was one of the reasons I wanted to get Chairman Davenport back on there, because it's just going to grow and it's going to keep going. And the more time you spend on Canal here, the more you realize what a valuable piece of property this could be to this area for growth and tourism and small business to have parking here. And so I've kind of switched bandwagons there, and we'll get you two guys to push that thing through, and I'll help you out any way you can, so.
Mr. Chairman, I want to make another observation about that. It seems like yesterday that I was leading the charge with former Chairman Jack Hopeland, and we brought it up. The county they were going to do the road through all our property. I said, no, we're going to do the road.
Yeah.
We're going to be in charge of that road. It goes through all that property. And we worked with the county, but that was the first step of getting everything going and all the easements, the right-of-ways
Yep, yep.
had to be approved. And we went, Efren, how long did we work on that? I don't even know if you were here.
No, I was. The finalization
How
of
long
the
did we work on
road.
just getting the road? 2 years, Julie?
Yeah.
But we were on top of where we wanted it, didn't we? We got it where we wanted it, didn't we, Julie? There you go. I just want to make that, started with the road.
Yeah, no, and I do think that by controlling it from a city level and the commission level, it is our property, that we can do the right thing for the environment and the beautification of that area out there. I mean, I have strong opinions about that. I'll keep them to myself, how beautiful that power plant looks coming off the exit out there.
It's
So,
only fair, since it goes through our property, that we decide, that the utility decides how should it flow.
Yeah, yes, so,
But there is interest, serious interest by the county.
yes, I've heard that.
Yes,
Yes,
I
yep.
guarantee you, Will and I have talked, and he says, I'm interested, yes. And they need to get out of downtown over here too. They're over there.
The
just-
whole, yeah, I agree. That whole,
what a
it's-
mess.
If you come over here for any event, the art festival or anything, parking is really
It's
tough.
embarrassing if you're a new person moving to
Yep,
town.
yep.
It's embarrassing to me, for the residents, to go over there, wait outside, or sit on it. It's just,
There's one thing I know for sure, is that Timer O'Reilly years ago told me that he quit buying that land out there when it went over 50 cents an acre.
that's right.
Yeah.
So I think it's appreciated.
You know what? And Tom O'Reilly I was a good friend, and his son
Rusty.
was a great guy. And, anyway, he sure did. He owned all that land out there. I remember at the golf course 50 years ago, talking about
Yeah.
50 cents an acre, man.
Yeah. And appreciate the public's participation today. I think the Creamies have left, but appreciate the comments. And like I said, I did read about that. And it was quite active chat out there. So thank you for that. And with that, everybody have a good rest of the day. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you. You know, I sat there the other day on my fine